LSU and Utah. After the first rotation, Utah led by 0.35. After the second rotation, LSU regained a little bit, and now they trail just by less than 0.3 of a point. Grace McCallum, that 9.925 on bars, the highlight for Utah in that rotation. And freshman McKenna Smith from Utah, a highlight on vault for them, a 9.9. So the visiting team, LSU, now will go to the floor, and the home team, there's Grace McCallum, they will be on the beam here in the Huntsman Center. For over 40 years, they have been the gold standard in women's collegiate gymnastics, not only in terms of the quality of the program, but the size of the crowd, the fan connection, the way they have ingrained themselves in the community. It really is the gold standard in women's sports, Kathy.
Oh, absolutely. For so many years, they have had the most loyal, devoted, enthusiastic, supportive fans year after year.
And they travel, and of course, the student section is renowned. It's known as the MUS. And the MUS stands for Mighty Utah Student Section. And they can be very vocal here in the Huntsman Center.
The other thing I'm really impressed by is with NIL, Utah has really done something amazing with theirs. It's a collective. Who rocks the house, and it really engages the community and the athletes, brings them together. It's a wonderful opportunity for both the athletes and the community.
In fact, they've coined the phrase philanthrophan, because now not only do the athletes as a collective benefit from NIL dollars, but a lot of the money goes back into the community for projects that this team is passionate about. Here is Emily Morgan from Great Britain on the beam to lead off for Utah.
I love that the name of that collective is Who Rocks the House. And they definitely rock the house. Utah is so good at balance beam. So well prepared.
Number 1 team in the country last year at this event. And the entire lineup is back from last year's championship team.
Assistant coach Carly Dockendorf just does such a great job at getting them both physically and mentally prepared to do a very difficult event. I love that swing through to a front full. You're going to see a lot of different new dismounts on balance beam. That was one of the changes in the rules. She does a triple series here. You get an extra 1/10 of a point bonus for doing 3 skills in a row. And of course, that swing through the front with a full. They all must do a C dismount. Skills are rated from A to E, A being the easiest, E the most difficult. They have to do a minimum of a C.
They point out the rules changes as the season goes on, but the significant changes were the lines on vault and the beam dismounts. The leadoff now for LSU on floor, Sierra Bell.
And such a natural performer. Double layout.
She was injured last year, only got to do floor twice for the LSU Tigers. This year they expect her to be in the lead-up position every meet.
Back 1.5 to front layout, right into a stag jump. Volunteer coach Courtney McCool Griffith does the choreography, helps them pick the music and really fun. Oh, I love that switch half down to one knee.
Mentioned Courtney McCool Griffith. She's home just a couple of weeks ago, gave birth to their 3rd child. Her husband and the assistant coach here, Garrett Griffith, on the sideline.
She will always be one of my all-time favorite performers, especially on balance beam and floor. Just exquisite presentation and form. Good start for LSU on floor exercise.
Crystal Issa is a late add to this beam lineup. In November, she sprained her ankle on a drill, and it was pretty bad. She actually only did her very first full beam routine just yesterday. But she's the #2 returning scorer for Utah on beam, so they want her in this position.
The fifth-year senior out of Henderson, Nevada. 2021, she's the Pac-12 beam co-champion. Love this mount.
And this early in the season, it's a candle. Now, this early in the season, you really can't beat experience. Crystal Issa has performed so well under immense pressure at times. Stays calm, cool, collected. Acro series, one of the requirements on balance beam. She does a triple series with 2 layout step outs out following the back knee and spring. Very difficult. You'll see different styles on balance beam. Crystal is very relaxed, uses a lot of smiles that are choreographed into the routine for relaxation. I think there was even a little wink with that, you. Oh, nice backhand, nice lift on that gainer full. It's exactly what you want to see in that second spot. It's a nice combination of good difficulty within the routine and just such calm, aggressive work. Just slight little form deductions along the way. These are minor.
There is Carly Dockendorf in her 6th season here with Utah, and what a terrific job she has done with their beam team. Here is Alona Shinikova on floor now. Sierra Ballard had a strong 9.825 to lead off.
So I mentioned the skills, easiest A all the way up to E, the most difficult. This is an E pass, front with a double twist. Nice arabesque position out of it. Combination pass here, back 1.5 to her front layout.
Nice landing.
The one thing that I saw in her warm-ups were her leaps. She had a little trouble getting the full amplitude, the full split and rotation. They're coming up right here. Much better in this one. The judges really want to see that full 180 and as high off the floor as possible. To a split jump, traveled back just a little too far for no deduction. Strong routine, it's interesting. So LSU had to come here and figure out how altitude was going to affect that.
Right.
And of any event, it would be the floor exercise. A minute and a half is not long enough for it to actually affect your performance, but it can sure feel like it.
Yeah, psychologically,
so it
it's really in your head sometimes, yeah. In addition to team competition tonight, there's an all-around competition. LSU all-arounders in the lead right now. Haley Bryan has the lead. Grace McCallum, of course, she struggled a bit on vault, came back strong on bars. Here she is on beam after Crystal Issa has a 9.875.
New mount here for Grace, the forward roll on the end. The ubiquitous wolf turn. This one a triple, very difficult, and goes right into a double. Not quite going to get that connection. She had a little pause, but so difficult. And just a very slight rebend. choreography of this routine. Underneath dismount. Gainer fall off the end. Well done. She fought through the nerves.
Sam Pesek is with someone who's quite familiar with competing here in the Huntsman Center. Sam?
That's right, Cammie Hall. After transferring to LSU, you rejoined your former Utah team to celebrate your victory from last season. How's it being back in the Huntsman Center?
It feels so great. Honestly, this crowd is unmatched. They really appreciate good gymnastics, and I'm happy to be back here. We made a lot of good memories here.
Now, I know you had a season-ending injury and unfortunately not able to compete this season, but head coach Jay Clark said you are such a bright light. It is important for you to be here. How have you embraced this new role?
You know, being a fifth year, I have a lot of experience under my belt, and I was going to share this with the team, what gymnastics are without, and I'm just ready to do that and be, you know, the energy they need, and, you know, just guide them along this path, because I've gone through this path multiple times, but, you know, it can be different for everybody, and I just want to be that leader for them.
Thank you.
Thanks. Go Tigers.
Classy move by Jay Clark to bring her back here so she can celebrate that championship last year when she competed with Utah. Here now injured and unable to compete for LSU. This is KJ Johnson coming after Alona Shenikova had a 9.825.
KJ opened with a beautiful full twisting double back that she kicked out of.
Yeah.
Lost her toes just a teeny bit at the top of those leaps, but I love the energy and the explosiveness of her tumbling. Into the double back in tuck position. Oh, lost the legs and the step out of bounds. That's a 1/10 of a point for going out of bounds. And then the loss of control on the landing. That looked like just a little bit of energy loss. But this first pass, this is so fun to watch. Full twisting double back, but watch right here. She kicks those legs out before the landing. Really like that. Now, the problem on this one wasn't the height. She was up there, a little loose, got her hips behind her feet, and over-rotated and stepped down.
Abby Paulson, now the senior from Minnesota, 4-time All-American on beam, 3 in the regular season and 1 at the NCAA.
We have seen this beam lineup perform to near perfection from lead off to anchor. That's 6 routines in a row. They are so solid, so confident.
Grace McCallum, before her, had their second 9.875 in a row.
Well, I love that back leg on the seesaw on the second leap in that pass. So difficult to keep that perfect form, the leg turned out, the toes pointed. Up to a side aerial, 1.5 twist. That is so difficult. So we talked about the J.
Right.
All gymnasts have to do a C dismount now, and they got rid of the little or, which meant or you could do a little B dismount as long as you did it after a D element, like an aerial. Well, we won't see that dismount anymore. And for her to add that half twist
Thank goodness.
to the full fulfills the dismount requirement perfectly.
Next up on the floor for LSU.
I had a chance to go to practice yesterday, and she's one of those athletes, like you mentioned, Kathy, that worked on a new dismount. I asked if it was difficult, and Carly, their beam coach, said, not for Abby Paulson. She is a natural beamer.
A natural gymnast. Aaliyah Finnegan now coming after KJ Johnson, had only a 9.5 after stumbling out of bounds on her last tumbling pass.
And Aaliyah could give a clinic on how to perform on foot. Look at the height on that Arabian into a stack jump. Stellar.
Younger sister of former LSU All-American Sarah Finnegan.
But watch how full out she performs the choreography. Complete stretch through the body. Full energy in the arms. Great focus. 2.5 twists, punch front. So much difficulty in the first 2 passes, and she's not done.
head coach Jay Clark said, I predict that Aaliyah Finnegan will have a special year here, just a sophomore from Missouri.
Back 1.5 front layout. So
Okay.
great difficulty and control on those most difficult passes and superb performance quality. Check this out. Double Arabian, way up in the air and goes right into a very controlled stag jump.
That's world-class gymnastics right there.
Absolutely. And 2.5 twists. We see a lot of gymnasts do a 1.5 twist for their combination pass. She adds another full.
We're talking about someone who gives a clinic.
Oh, absolutely. She is stunning on balance beam. Watch this mount. Just leaps into this routine. Literally leaps. Very difficult. She often goes into a second leap right out of that mount. Switch leap. That is perfection in the air. That back leg so high. Now watch her move. Full body in this choreography. Turnout of the feet. That's almost unheard of these days on balance beam. It's just exquisite.
4-year member of the U.S. national team, has 2 gold medals with the U.S. team in World Championship competition, and she is making her mark in NCAA competition as well.
Even the little things, going up high on releve at the end of the beam before she steps into a side aerial back layout. Great difficulty. And the performance quality.
Last 3 scores for Utah on beam have all been 9.875s. Utah with the lead of about 0.3 of a point.
This is, it's dramatic, it's elegant. I just love this routine and the way she performs it. New dismount for her. Okay, yes, she hopped, I see that, but you know what? The rest of the routine was head and shoulders above so many other balance beam routines. And we've seen great beam routines.
That 0.3 of a point lead was coming into this rotation, and they are extending it here with that superb work on the beam for the Utah Red Rocks. We'll be back at floor for LSU. This is Haley Bryant. Aaliyah Finnegan with a 9.95 gets a career high in the opening meet of the season. Good for her.
We'll see another E pass right here. A super high, double front. Great control, just steps right out of it beautifully. Front layout to a Rudy. I like her combination of explosive power and flexibility. See that flexibility in these leaps. Nice ring position, nice 180 degrees. She goes beyond that to really show off those split positions. Finishes with a front double twist and E pass at the end of the routine. Now she is so ready to have a big season.
You can see that. Having a great night in the all-around as well.
She's such a good all-around gymnast. As I said, the combination of her power, her ability, especially in the front tumbling arena. Now watch the flexibility in that ring position and then the switch half. And to end your routine with an E element, that front double twist. Nice.
Miley O'Keefe now on beam, coming after Kara Aker notched their first 9.9 on that event. O'Keefe, 11-time All-American. 4 times she scored perfect 10s.
And one of the best balance beam workers in the NCAA, really in the history of NCAA. There's been some tremendous beam workers, and she is one of them. Sidereal, that layout, she was a tiny bit off, but uncanny the way she can hold up that arm while she's still in the air. That inner gyroscope can just find the center of the beam.
It's fascinating that thousands of minute corrections happen even while they're airborne to make sure that they find that beam.
Handsprings swing through right to that gainer layout with a full twist. Really nice routine. This beam rotation for Utah is so good. I mean, and it's money.
Good on to Sam Pescic.
In an effort to keep Kaya Johnson healthy throughout this season, they started her floor training later. She's actually only done one routine on the spring floor. But head coach Jay Clark said she's shown us that she's capable of making adjustments on the fly. He said she may lunge a little bit longer than she would like to later in the season. But I just walked by her, she waved, big smiles. I can't really see any nerves there.
Okay. This is the spectacular senior from Dallas, Texas, Kaya Johnson.
She has lit up many an arena throughout her career with her fabulous tumbling, very, very explosive, powerful, and really good control on that landing.
Last year we saw her sporadically in the floor lineup. Jay Clark very conscious about resting those sometimes tender Achilles tendons, but ready to go on the all-around here.
1.5 to front layout. How's that for control? Showing that off. And like Haley, she also has the flexibility to go with that power. Nice combination. Out here, look at the position in these leaps. Full split, full turn in the air on that stratagem. Nice form on that high double back. Love how straight those legs are. Toes pointed throughout the entire skill. Really strong routine, especially first meet of the season. Nice to see.
And a necessary hit routine because they like to drop the score of 9-5 by KJ Johnson. Obviously, Kaya will score much more. Haley Bryant before her at a 9.875.
Look how straight, that perfect pike position. You want to be at least 90 degrees in that pike position, perfectly straight legs and toes.
Now on beam for Utah, Miley O'Keefe had a spectacular 9.95, so a 49.475 for Utah on beam, and a nice job for LSU coming back on floor. Sam is with their head coach, Jay Clark.
Jay, you said a goal for this meet is to find out the identity of your team. What have you learned so far?
Well, right now they're fighting. I mean, obviously we looked a little nervous to begin the meet. Expected a little bit of that, but our landings and things are not where we needed to be. But what an amazing atmosphere for our first meet, and told them to get out here and enjoy that. We're learning to find ourselves a little bit. And I think some of the landings got a little bit better. We showed a lot of fight on floor, and now we just got to go to beam and try to close this thing out.
Last event, beam in this environment. What's the key to handling the pressure here?
Well, they just got to be steady. Muggs does a good job of getting them to stay within themselves and getting that beam bubble. You'll notice I kind of back away from that event. My energy doesn't mix too well with that one, so I try to back off just a little bit. I noticed Tom Barton did the same thing. So but we're just happy. This is a great first meet environment, and these people do a great job putting the meet on, and we're enjoying it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, so Utah has the lead as we get set for the fourth and final rotation. Utah will be on the floor. LSU will be on the beam in
number 6 versus number 3 here from Salt Lake City tonight.